Hello, my friends. How are you today? I'm going to try and do two things at the same time here. So, I want to create 5 synthesis patches and then use them to create a simple MIDI track. So, that's the plan. It's only going to be a little loop, and the main part of it will probably be the 5 MIDI patches, and then we'll just put them together in a simple way. Okay, so the 5 synthesizer patches. So, the synthesizer we're going to be using is the analog because what we want to try and do is simulate subtractive synthesizers, which are analog. So I'm going to drag the word analog out to a blank area because we want to deal with the preset. I don't want to use any of the included presets. We want to come up with our own. And so I have a MIDI keyboard here. So I can play that. If you don't have a MIDI keyboard, you could hit this little keyboard icon up here and play your QWERTY keyboard. A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, and then W, E, T, Y, U. And then the X and the Z will go up and down arrows. But I'm going up and down octaves. But I'm going to use the piano keyboard because it's here in front of me. Okay, so we're going to start off. I think the most important thing to start off with is probably your bass. You should probably start off with your bass because they're the least amount of notes and they will determine all of the notes that you're allowed to play above that. So a bass is going to be pretty straightforward. It just means a low frequency sound that's played down low in the keyboard. So if we hear that bright sound, just filter it down. Cool. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a filter envelope, maybe. Turn up the filter. There you go. So we've got a little kind of a bass sound here. Now what I might do is if we select the oscillator, we could turn up the sub level. Make it a little bit more aggressive. Detune it slightly. And then maybe I could put a little bit of drive onto it. So we're getting a bit more bassy, you know? Okay, now we could, if we wanted, we could put some effects on it. Because it's a bass, what I'll probably try and do is put a little bit of saturation onto it. So we'll try and find some saturation in the driving color. Here's a saturator. I could put it on and just give it a little bit. Just warm it up a bit, and then maybe I could go into the dynamics and I could get a glue compressor, and there might be a preset in here for drums. Yeah. Well, that's what I want, low extender. So I'm using a preset now. I think that's pretty good. Now we could... A little bit of rumble on the bass, and it has a bit of character. Okay. So let's move on to another sound. I'm just going to make my sounds first, okay? So I'm going to go back to my instruments. I'm going to get an analog. And I think that this time what I'll try and do is I'll create a pad. I think they're pretty easy to create. So I'll create a pad next. So we hear the sound again. For the pad, I will change the wave shape slightly. Maybe make one of them a square wave. And then maybe I'll turn on the LFOs. On this one, I'm being quick, I know. I'll turn on the LFOs and then maybe I'll turn up the LFO to control the width, to give it a bit of movement. I'll also detune it, give it a bit of movement. I'll also put on a bit of unison to give it a bit of movement. Okay. And I'm also going to fade it in and fade it out with the filter. Use the envelope. And we will also fade it. Now this one has a slight problem. So because there's too much bass in it. So what I think I'll do is I'll send it to the second filter. See, it's going filter 1 to now. Go down to filter 2, and I'll make filter 2 a high pass. And that'll... And then what I'll do is instead of going to... So right now it's going os into this filter, into this amp. Now I'm going to go os into this filter. It's not going to go into this amp because I've turned it off. And instead it's going to go down to this filter. And then it's going to go to this amp. I hope. There it is. So you can see that I was able to take out some of the bass. I might make these 12 dB as well. Cool. Now let's put some effects on. Like that should sound okay as a pad, you know, like if we just listen. What I think I'll do is I'll make it last a little bit longer because it kind of kills off a little bit too quick. So I'll just make it last a little bit longer to release. Let's listen now. I'm gonna take off this. Take off the envelope and the high pass filter because really with the high pass filter I just want to remove the lower frequencies. Nice. Now what we can do is we can put some audio effects on, okay my friends? So I'm going to put some delay and reverb. Again, we can use this as a send, but I just want to be quick today, you know. So I'll put on the reverb. It doesn't really matter. I'll put on a special reverb. Let's see if we can find one. Large space chorus. That's the one that I normally use. And we'll just pull down the dry wet a little bit and we should be able to hear it quite nicely. Okay. We can tidy up that reverb later if we want. So that's 2. Let's go for another one. So another one that we need now, let's go to the another instrument. And another one that we could use, we'll pull it down, is we have a pad, we have a bass. We need a lead of some kind. So we go lead, L-E-A-D. All right. Now, with my lead, I'm going to make my lead monophonic. That's the very first thing. I should have made my bass monophonic, but I'll make my lead monophonic. Mono. All right. I think I'll make it a square lead this time, just one oscillator. So I'll turn off the second oscillator for now. I'll turn on the LFO, and because we're using a square wave, I may as well do some pulse width modulation. Up at the... Now I want a little short sound, you know. I do. I want a little short sound, so... To make it a little bit more exciting, I think what I'll do is I'll put up, I'll change the sync on it. I'll turn up. Because I'm trying to get to, you know, use a few more techniques and things like that. And so we may as well, we've used the sub, we may as well use the hard sync. And maybe we could use maybe a different filter. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I like it. We'll leave it for now, okay? And we'll create another one, okay? Well, we need to put some effects on this. So I think what I'll do is I'll try and put some maybe a flanger or a phaser or maybe some distortion or something that gives it a little bit of color. Maybe this erosion. No, not that. Maybe this redux thing, which will give it a bit of color. Kind of that digital gritty. Yours might look a little bit different if you're in 10, but it'll still say rate in bits. Okay, so we'll leave it at that now. There's a bit of color onto it. We've got 3. We need 5. So analog. With this one, I'm going to go for a little bit of, we want some percussion sounds. So I'm going to go perk. Now there's a lot we could do, but I just want to keep it easy because this video is going long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the oscillators, turn on the noise, change the color, change the amp, and then change the filter to a high pass. To get the release. So we have a hi-hat. Now, I can have fun with this hi-hat, and I may as well. What I'll do is I'll attach the filter to the velocity. So right here we've got envelope to velocity. So you see if it's different now if I hit it hard or quiet. So I'll turn it down a little bit because that's one. But now I have a little bit more variation. Okay. Lastly, we've bass, perk, lead. There's another sound that I need. I can't remember. A conventional instrument, a bass, a pad, a lead. What is the other one? I don't know. I can't remember. I'll make a little basic pattern now, right? We've done 5. We've done 4. It's enough for now. Pick a tempo. I'm gonna pick 1, 3, 3. Turn on our metronome. So, go down. Select A, Command U to put them in. So here we go. I'm just going to put that in, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I put in the hi-hats now, why not? That'll do, I guess. I kind of liked it at the end there, but it was a bit more swingy. So select Command A, Command U. Oh, kind of destroyed it a bit. So zoom in, Command U. Okay, we try and find the lead. So what I might try and do is put this into a bit of a reverb. Reverb goes into a delay. hope that was of some use to you. How you can make 4 patterns, and you can make a really simple 4 instrument sounds really quickly. You can make a pattern really quickly, and it just sounds nice. You just keep it simple, know what you're aiming for, and remember, if you get confused, you can always just take out one of the instruments from here, go to analog, look at one of the presets, and then try and recreate it, rebuild it yourself. But it's, it's not that hard. Okay, well, all right, my friends. Bye bye. Hope it was of some use. Good luck to you.